Hey guys, Majeffries here, and welcome to episode 98 of You Don't Win Anything with Kids. Normally at this point I would spiel on about what we've been up to and what we're going to be doing, but I'm going to jump straight into the action because I think these episodes could do with being a little bit quicker. So we've got Coventry away in the South quarterfinals of the Johnston's Paint Trophy. So let's quickly clear the team. We're going to go for Quintaka in goal, of course. I'm going to scroll down the list here. Oh look, we have a new signing. Nico Yanaris, formerly of Arsenal, is a free agent on here, so I thought I'd bring him in. And I'm actually going to start him at right back for his debut. See how he gets on there. I can't quite work out yet whether he's a better right back or centre midfielder. So we'll start him at right back, and then maybe we'll try him out a little bit later at centre midfield and see what goes on there. Jones at left back. We're going to play a pretty full strength team with that exception. Okay, we end up with Villa missing out, but sacrifices must be made and all that jazz. Cartwright at left centre back. Stevens at right centre back. We then skip down to the midfielders, and we're going to have Delamond, of course. Actually, no, we're not going to have Delamond. I really should check their conditions before I select them. Let's have Mantum and Forster-Kasky, because I quite like that partnership. And then, of course, we're not going to play Bobo because he's suspended. So, new dynamic to the team. Do you know what? Tomlin. He hasn't played for us for a little while, so we'll stick Tomlin in the gap there. We will then have Mr. Beckhold on the left. We will have... do you know what? I'll put Marshall on the right and see how he gets on. Because again, he's been out of the team for a little while as well. And then up front, I think Keith Wilson. He seems like a logical decision. And then on our bench, we're going to have O'Brien. We are going to have Hutchinson. We're going to have Klopmas. We're going to have... Yeah, we are going to have Klopmas. We're going to have Thompson. And we're going to have Drewson. Wherever he's gone, there he is. And that's our team. So, let's get into it. We'll have to give Yanaris a squad number, of course. So we'll give him the number 42. We need to cut back on our number of players with squad numbers, actually, because we've got a lot of... in fact, we're up to 30... With 39? Because I think I saw a couple of gaps. 30 was missed out, and I think it was like 39 itself, actually, I think was missed out as well. So let's jump straight into the match. Just rummaging around for my TV remote because I don't want echo noise. There we go. And kickoff. So I'm looking for a positive result and a positive result. Positive performance and a positive result. That's what I wanted to say. I believe Coventry are still based at Sixfields on here. Interesting story for those of you who are watching this series and aren't aware of what's going on with Coventry in real life at the moment. They hit financial problems sort of midway through last season. It was kind of a long time coming, but it really hit home during last season. And because of that, the Rico Arena, which is or was their home ground, basically kicked them out. Said they weren't going to play there because they couldn't afford to pay the rent. So Coventry said, okay, we won't play at the Rico Arena anymore. And they negotiated a deal to play at Sixfields, which is just down the M1 in Northampton. Then the owners of the Rico Arena sort of changed their mind and said, actually, you can play and you can play for free. But by then, Coventry had already agreed to pay Northampton rent for the privilege of playing at Sixfields, and that deal sort of went through. So, despite the fact a vast majority of Coventry fans are very much against this decision, and I sort of back them on that one because it's quite a trip to go all the way down to Northampton just to watch your team play at home. And you know, this is coming from someone who's currently managing a team where they have to travel all the way down to West London to watch them play at home. So I know what that feels like. Well, I don't personally know what that feels like, but I am aware of what it would be like. So at the moment, I think they're trying to negotiate deals. I'm not, I don't know that much about Coventry, so I don't know the ins and outs of the club, but I hope for the fans' sake that they do sort that problem out, because it's not fair on them. Once again, the fans are the first to suffer when a football club gets into financial difficulties. So I think it's about time the Coventry board and the owners of the Rico sort of sat down and worked it out so that at least Coventry can return to Coventry, whether that's at the Rico or at a new stadium that they might be building. Who knows? I just hope it works out for them. Because like I said, at the end of the day, it's the fans who get affected, and they're the ones who bring the passion and the money to the club. So it's in their best interests, really. So now I've rambled on about that. Not much has happened in the match. We've given away a free kick. Cartwright's received a lecture from the referee. We've only had one shot, and it wasn't on target. They've had 2 shots, one of which was on target. So really, we got to shape up. We're letting them get through. Like Leon Clark there with the effort, which Quintaka beats away. That's the second time Quintaka's had to make a save. And again, I mean, both of them really, he's done okay. He's not let the team down, he's kept the ball out, so can't really complain. What I can complain about is how we're not getting shots on target. Oh, but he has just given us a penalty. And I'm not entirely sure what for. But Wilson will take it. And, okay. Vigoro, I think that is. Vigoro. The Coventry keeper probably should have done a better job keeping that one out. But he didn't. He let it go in. So I can't really... Mustn't grumble. Can't fuss. It's a poor penalty, mind. Straight down. Look at that. Straight down the middle. I don't know why Vigoro didn't save that. Most keepers would have saved that. You'd have put money on most keepers saving that. So I don't know what happened there. But we're 1-0 up, so I'll take it. We've equalled on possession now. 50-50, which actually doesn't happen that often in football. And you can see, as soon as I say that, it changes to roughly around 52-53 in our favour. Shots-wise, we've also equalled. 3 in total, 2 on target, 1 off target. Now it's 4 and 2. So we're getting better. We're slowly improving. And there's Manton playing through Wilson. And again, hit it straight at Vigoro, who let it get past him. It just happened to be that it was deflected wide. Otherwise, we'd be looking at 2-0. Right, Uniris throws it to Marshall. He's dispossessed, but Manton was in behind to pick the ball up again. Uniris with a pretty decent ball down the wing there for Marshall. Pulls it back to Uniris. That's a really good far post cross. Just a shame no one was on the far post. Because if they connected with that, we would have been looking at 2-0. Manton and Uniris are linking up well down that right hand side actually. A cut back from Uniris to Forster-Caskey. He finds Jones. Beckhold, Forster-Caskey to Tomlin. Good spin, good save by Vigoro that time. Much better from their goalkeeper. Much as it pains me to say it. Our players' conditions aren't that brilliant actually. They're all 80, low 80. I think the highest we've got out there is Wilson on 88. That's not good. Even if we are... Excuse me, yawning. I always yawn. Whenever I record this, I yawn. Any other series, I'm fine. But as soon as I start recording this, the yawns. I'm wondering if it's the colour scheme on the screen. Dark skin. I might change the skin colour to light and see if that changes anything. Right, Uniris with the cross. Vigoro again with the save. Yeah, we need to... I complain about their keeper not saving the ball, but now I'm looking at it and thinking we need to get more shots away like that. Really good effort there from Manton, and again a good save from Vigoro. So he's warming up, he's getting more and more into the game, but at the same time our team is getting more and more into the game, and there's a cross there from Marshall which led to Manton hitting the post. Wilson's running in totally the wrong direction. He has found Marshall again, who dinks it into the near post that time. Wilson with one more header. Marshall couldn't get onto it. Wrestled out the way by the defender. Jones picks the ball up in a good area and finds Cartwright. He finds Forster-Caskey. Jones has kept his run going. That's a really good run from Jones. Link up play with Marshall is also good. Can he cross? He can. Fadden heads it away. Comes out as far as Marshall again. That was just too much on it for Jones. I'm liking the way that we're picking up these second balls and still making a threat. And we forced Clark to put it out for a throw in there as well. And I'm guessing that led to another corner, because here it comes from Marshall. Manton's headed to the edge of the box. Cartwright lays it off for Stevens, and Unlucky that it just went wide there. Excuse me for 1 second, guys. I'm just going to take a drink. Ah, that's better. Sorry about that. Dry throat. I've actually been at a football match today. Just watching Stevenage triumph against Tranmere. Very, very good match. I'm thinking of starting up another series where I talk about that sort of thing, so I won't talk too much about that. But that's why my voice is sounding a little bit funny today, because I don't know what I was thinking. I screamed myself into oblivion. I couldn't even breathe by the end of the match. I was screaming so much. So I've been waiting all evening for my voice to soothe, and I've been drinking a lot, and not alcoholic, obviously. Just trying to soothe my throat so that it's in a good enough condition to record for the rest of this weekend. So yeah, yeah, that's why my voice sounds a bit funny. Oh, what's her name? Johan? I think it's Johan or Owen. I remember that guy on the X Factor a couple of years ago. His name was Owen, but it was spelt with like E's and I's and O's everywhere. So let's just call him Jogan. Stokes has been sent off for Coventry right on half time. I'm guessing it's Yanaris he took down because he's not looking peaky out there. So we'll sub him off at half time. He's had a good debut though. I've been really impressed with him. It's just a shame he picked up that knock. But I'll bring on Klotmas. We will definitely be seeing Yanaris again at some stage. More inclined really to play him in the centre of midfield because I don't want to be throwing Villa off kilter when he's performed so well so far this season. So yeah, there'll be a bit of a fight going on for that right back slot now, that's for sure. Right, Marshall with the cross. That's a clever one actually to Klotmas. Now good shot from Klotmas. Vigoro. Oh, right. I think what happened there was Vigoro saved it. It fell to Wilson. He had to battle past the defender and then hit the post of all places. So again, really, really unlucky. We've had plenty of chances to make it 2-0. I don't know whether Coventry are riding on a bit of luck or whether we're just not convincing enough in the attack. But it is still only 1-0, so the game is still alive. You know, both teams have a chance of winning this still. Just got to hope that it is us who comes out on top in the end. Right, Forster-Caskey to Klotmas. Klotmas down the line for Beckhold, who seems to have permanently swapped wings with Marshall, so I might fix that in a second. And that is a fantastic finish from Sam Manton. Before we watch that replay, I am just going to swap Beckhold back with Marshall, because that probably won't be doing Beckhold's match rating any good if he's playing out of position. And then we're going to feast our eyes on this replay. So there's Klotmas on the ball, down the line for Beckhold. Into Tomlin, great little layoff, and I like the way Manton was facing backwards and managed to spin round and tuck that into the bottom corner. I think that's very, very impressive. That was a really, really good finish. I'm really, really impressed with Manton. It looks like this episode could actually finish a little early, so once this match is finished, I'm going to go and check on Manton's stats and history because I remember mentioning, I think it was last video or this video before, about how impressed I was with him, and I never really backed that up. So we'll have a look at his stats and see how much of a difference he's actually made to us since he's joined. I don't know whether this game has this feature actually. You know, like on Sky Sports News, when a player gets injured or suspended or something, and they do a games with and games without section. So they show like points gained, goals scored, chances created, and if it's a defender, goals conceded. I don't know if this game has that. If it doesn't, it would be kind of useful if it did. Then you could really assess your players and see how good they are and aren't. For example, how good my back four is, because they've just let Leon Clark waltz through and he's finished it in the top corner. Can't blame Quintana for that. It was a very good finish from Clark, but look how easy this is. That's Cartwright, isn't it? Just not making the challenge. And then Clark swings it into that top corner. That's, yeah, not too impressed with that. Not impressed at all with that. Marshall. His match rating is dipped somewhat. So we're going to watch Tomlin stick this in the back of the net like an absolute beast. That was a fantastic finish as well. Almost as good as Manton's, if not better. Really, I love it when my team does that. So soon after conceding as well. It's only 3 minutes since Clark scored, and we've gone straight up the other end and got one back. And that ball from Forster-Caskey was brilliant. And look at that from Tomlin. That is cheekiness and it's absolute pinnacle. Just dink it over the keeper, spot him off his line. And I like the ones where it doesn't bounce before going in, if that makes sense. So the actual first bounce of the ball after the lob is over the goal line. They're my favourites because, well, yeah, you know, he scored. It's definitely in. There's no chance of it. Wrong button. No chance of it coming back out again. So it's a very clean lob. Didn't trickle in. It didn't bounce 4 times before eventually rolling across the line. It straight away went over the keeper's head and straight in the back of the net. They're my favourites when the lob goes in like that. You can see I'm just subbing off Marshall and I'm putting Drewson on. And he was actually who I was about to say. Marshall was looking... His match rating had dropped a little bit. I'm wondering if his relationship with Yanaris was what was sort of carrying him through this game. And as soon as Yanaris came off, the partnership broke down between him and Klopmas. Therefore his performance started dipping as well. So for the sake of the team, we'll make the change. Good shot there from Klopmas as well, actually. Vigoro getting his body behind it. Cleared up the pitch. Right, there you go. Marshall coming off, Drewson coming on. We've got just over 10 minutes of this match left. Despite the fact that I tried to rush into this match as soon as possible, it looks like we're still going to finish at about the same length as all the other episodes. So, make of that what you will. Right, 86th minute, 87th minute. Technically in the 88th minute now. Drewson with the corner. Not a very good one. Lussey with the clearance. Drewson pulls it back to Forster-Caskey, who's made a good bit of space for himself in the middle of the park there. He finds Mantum, shot blocked. That should be another corner, and it is. So, I'd say this is one of the final chances of the game. Cross in, Klopmas couldn't get his head on it. Stevens to Beckhold, Cartwright round the corner to Tomlin. Is he going to pull it? I bet he pulls it back. Oh no, he pulled it across. Oh, Beckhold was flattened there, but Keith Wilson was there to put it in the back of the net. Otherwise, we could have had a good argument for a penalty there, because Beckhold was definitely... I mean, look at this. Straight through the back of him. It says good sliding challenge at the bottom, but I'm pretty sure... I saw one of these this afternoon, in fact. Player goes through the man like that, but wins the ball, and yet he's still got booked for it. So I think that's the law of the game now, that you can't actually tackle like that from behind anymore, because of fear of endangering an opponent. So I think that would have been a penalty. But we'll never find out. But the main thing is, we have won the game 4-1. So our journey in the JPT continues, which is fantastic, because that was the area semi-final, wasn't it? So, oh no, sorry, the quarter-final. So we're in the semi-final now, and we'll be playing one of... How does that work? I think there's 8 teams in a quarter-final. That makes sense to me. So that means there's another fixture that hasn't been played today. So maybe it's played the next day. It's probably played the next day. Or it was being played the day before. So we'll find out who we're playing at that point. I was going to try and predict it, but there's no point because I don't know who the other 2 teams are. Last thing before I show you Mantum's stats, because I am interested to see how he has actually helped our team. Considering he wasn't my signing, I'll have to admit that. It was Jonathan Searcher, our director of football, who actually plucked him out and signed him for, I think it was 750k. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm sure it was around the £700,000 mark. So yeah, we'll see how he is in a second. But first of all, I want to show you this guy here, Bertrand Traore. He has got the most plain stats you've ever seen. Barely a stat over 10 down this side here. However, our scout reckons he's good enough for most Sky Bet League 2 sides, and he could become a good Premier Division left winger in the future. Whether I sign him or not, I don't really know. I might end up pulling out of this deal actually. But it's here. Chelsea. Summer just gone. This fella here played in Chelsea's pre-season tour of Far East, I think it was. And he pretty much scored in every single game for them. They couldn't sign him on professional terms because he was under the age of 18, and there's a rule about African players, where I believe he is from Cameroon? Sorry, Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. It would be brilliant if I could pronounce countries' names. I'm so sorry if I've offended anyone from Burkina Faso. So he looks like a really good player because he played really well. He's signed a professional contract with Chelsea now because he's just turned 18. And they're tipping him to be like the Anazai of Chelsea. So he definitely looks like a good signing. However, I know I'm going by scout stats, but I don't know whether he's actually going to be good enough for our team, which is a shame really, because most other teams in League 2, like I signed him on my Portsmouth Test career, and he's immense on that, but it's because he was first choice. And you can see here, attacking midfielders left, we've got Johnston, Tomlin, Delamond and Bobo. This is according to Galvin, who I don't actually believe. I'd put Beckhold on this list first of all, for all of them, but they don't seem to have done that. And you can see how all of these change as well, and how all these change, and how all these change. So I think actually it's an unreliable thing, so I'm going to withdraw from that one. And the last thing I'm going to do before this episode is done. Where is he? Sam, there he is. He's worth £2.5 million now, so you know we can cash in on him in January if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that. Reports. He's good enough for championship sides, which, I mean, we're 2 leagues ahead of that already. The fact we're in League 2 and we've got a player of this quality is fantastic. They also reckon he can improve significantly in the future, which is also good. This is from Huntington, by the way, our assistant manager, so I trust his opinion, because he's well respected in my eyes. You can see all the positions he can play in. He can play in the diamond and in the middle. And if I go on to his history, you can see we signed him for £700,000. That's right. After he went to Rangers. So he was at Walsall. He's at Walsall now, in real life. So he went from Walsall, where he actually scored a fair amount of goals for them. 46 and... I mean, that doesn't look like a big stat. 9 goals in 46 games. But it's not just the goals, it's the effect that he has on the team as well. And you can see he got a pretty decent average rating for 46 games. That means he played every single league match, pretty much, and got a match rating of... Let's round that up to 7. That tells you that how good a player he is. He then went to Rangers on a free, which is of course where we signed him from. He got a match rating of 7.26, so again he's improving. And that's 7 goals in 28 games, so he almost equalled his previous tally, having played nearly half the amount of games, just over half the amount of games, 5 games over halfway. And also his assists didn't improve, but he got the same number of Man of the Match awards. For us, so far he scored 4 goals in 15 games, so a third of his appearances for Walsall, he scored over a third of his goals. He's also made 4 assists, which is more than he made last season, and only 2 less than he made 2 seasons ago. And he's won an extra Man of the Match award, and his match rating is improved even more to 7.34. So he is slowly going up the curve towards success, and I'm proud to say that he is a part of the Jeffreys United family. As of course are all of these guys here, and you'll be seeing more of these guys in the next episode, because that is now the end of this episode, guys. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button below. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support, and until next time, I will see you soon.